Alright guys, welcome to the first episode of my Q&A. So thank you guys for all the comments, much appreciated. This episode is really just going to be just answering from the previous comments, all the way from the channel update, and then all the way to the most recent QPR update that was done last night actually. So I'm just going to start here at the top. Caldina Onwucheli, that's a tough one. I think I got that one right. Could you do SC Bastia? I think this is in regards to the channel update that I at the time had mentioned that QPR may be dead, but it is now alive and well. But I may think about that. There's a couple that FIFA 17 still up in there, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do a manager mode or a career mode with that. So good question though. Mike McKenna, congrats on the 1.2k subs, brother. You deserve each and every one of them. Thanks, Mike. Mike's been around my channel for quite a minute, so I appreciate anytime he posts, and I know he's a good guy. So thanks again, Mike. Appreciate it. Amir Jalisi, 2 questions for the Q&A. Which football team do you support? Which Premier League team is your favorite? This is a tough question. Football team really right now is Sporting Kansas City. You'll catch that on my podcast that I'll be doing and uploading here. I actually don't have a specific team that I've always followed for a good number of years. I've been watching the Sporting Kansas City rebranded from before being called the Wizards. If you don't know, Sporting Kansas City they play in the MLS, and I've watched them for as long as I've moved here to the United States. So I don't usually have, or never really have, like a die-hard team. So you mentioned Premier League team being my favorite. There's not really a favorite team. I kind of just watch. I am a player first, so meaning I will watch players versus watching teams. So I'm not a die-hard anything really. My favorite player is Clint Dempsey. That's my all-time favorite player, and so I've watched him from when he played at Furman to New England, over to Fulham, and then to Tottenham, and then back over here to Seattle, and playing for Seattle Sounders. So I follow players just like I follow David Beckham and his role, and Michael Owen. Jose Luis Chilavert, the Paraguayan goalkeeper, was one of my favorites of all time. It's really close between him and Clint Dempsey in that respect, but yeah, that's pretty much how I've approached it. I don't really have a big favorite team. I just kind of root for that team depending on their player, if I'm really following their players. So I'll follow a lot of American players overseas, and I'll kind of just root for the team they're playing for. So hope that helps out. So I don't really have a true team that I support, other than Sporting Kansas City, because I live here in Kansas. So Amir Jalisi again. Matt, sorry to hear about career mode. Of course, again, we're good with the QPR, so thank you again for that. So I'm just going to kind of scroll down. I know you had mentioned this, Amir, regarding the slider settings. You've got this set up where marking a boundary at 80-81. Okay. Okay. I like the research. I appreciate that. That's definitely going to come in handy. Please make sure to be around for FIFA 17 when we start on Operation Sports doing our thread, our forum that's going to go over FIFA 17 sliders. I hope it's not going to be too deep. I hope the game is good right out of the box. That'd be excellent, almost like the FIFA 16 demo. That'd be just fantastic if it was, but it's a tough call of how it's going to be. But I do appreciate that mentioning 80-81. I personally would go 78. If you go 79-80, you go to just man marking. In the terms of I guess the best way you can do a test to see marking is set it up as high as you can, do a throw in, and see how close they mark each other. So that's kind of where you find that threshold. It's not really a specific number. It's more so on what you see on the pitch. So 78 has kind of been my happy medium between teams that really have high pressing and those that have low pressing, and everything from there. I wanted to kind of make sure the field itself could compress and decompress, and that's why the balance of all that. So I did try out your sliders that you mentioned. I've got a video here playing in the background, and so my review on it really was just that I felt like it was really fast, for one. The 6 and 7 marking, I know the zonal mark is a great idea. The run frequency is what throws me off, because if you have zonal marking and you've got a high run frequency, they do take advantage of the open space, but it just becomes end to end like crazy. It's very easy to get by, especially with the lower marking. If you see one of my videos, I'll try to see if I put up a link in which I was testing a lower marking, because I loved how it was playing. I believe it had it at 1 at a certain point during testing of sliders. So I appreciate that that you're looking at that too, thinking outside the box. You know, that's exactly how I look at sliders as well, and what can be done with them. So I do appreciate that. Looking at that, the way the game just played for me was very fast, very open. You know, I only recorded one match, but I played several others just to make sure it wasn't the teams or anything. But I do like, you know, for certain things in the pass speed, I think you make a good point about passes feel weightless. 53, I can see that. I think there's also a big difference. If you play the women's versus the men's version, you'll see I've always been a big believer that FIFA needs to make a bigger ball for the men, just slightly bigger, and it's weird, but that's why the women's game feels so good, because that ball is really heavy, because it's just slightly bigger, just due to their proportions. So, but it's an interesting and why that feels the way it does. So it's kind of cool. I would suggest it. It's something I did back in PES when I first tried that. I lowered everybody's calf size down to like -3 or something like that, because I wanted to make the ball look bigger, and the game played fantastic as a result. It was really strange, but it's one of those little things that you find out from just testing. So overall, I appreciate the input. The sprint speed, I think maybe that's why I went a little crazy. 81 sprint speed, you can definitely go that high, and there's no jogging animation, of course, but you do run into the trouble of that sprint. It may not look very fast, but it feels super fast, and that's really what kind of threw me off on this. So I appreciate that. Here's the full listing, anybody, if you want to take a look. One more thing here I just noticed was the high height. I like what you're thinking with it. I use the same thing at some point with all different height levels, from 100 height to 20 length, and really compressing the pitch. The problem with the height that much is it literally forces players out of position. So it's not necessarily just about the defensive line anymore. It's just about pushing players so close up and offsides, and they're just hanging off, and they're, you know, it is the defensive line height, but as a result it kind of makes that match so wide open, and then one pass just sends everybody you know, behind the back line, and that's good on occasion, but it doesn't bring in the defender that should be, you know, dropping all the way back to head a ball or anything like that. So mainly a ball over the top is really a sprint fest, and that's not how it should be. So that's kind of one of the issues among some of the other ones, but I appreciate that. Camera on co-op mode, just see the full view of how perfect the sliders are. So I know I love broadcast, so appreciate that though, Amir, much appreciated. Okay, so the next comments from the FIFA 16 career mode, or manager mode, sorry, from episode 19 for my QPR. So for this one, Kez Twin Gaming, yo mate, nice FIFA vid. I beg you to start a draft series. I just subscribed, would appreciate it if you could sub to my channel. We could do a collab. Message me on Instagram and we can start something out. So, you know, Kez, I really appreciate it. I definitely did subscribe to you. I don't do drafts. I don't do anything, you know, Ultimate Team. It's probably why I have a, you know, my subscriber count's not super big. I think it'd be a lot bigger if I gave in to do the Ultimate Teams. It's just not something I'm ever going to be interested in. I don't believe if, you know, I think it's a cop out in a way for some YouTubers to get views, even when they don't want to do the Ultimate Team. And I'm not going to be that way. I never will be. So I don't. I love the realism behind, you know, using a team for the season or something like that. So I won't ever do Ultimate Team. I'll tell you that for sure. And the reason I do that is because Ultimate Team reminds me of a Centennial match. You know, it's like, when would you ever group up all these players, you know, in one setting? in one match other than to celebrate, you know, David Beckham or Luis Figo or, you know, or Ronaldo, you know, somebody who's moved on in their career, you know. And so that's why it's like an all-star match, you know, for the Americans watching, you know, if that makes sense. So I just don't, I'm not a big fan of it. I wish FIFA wouldn't, or EA wouldn't put so much time and energy into it, but I do understand it makes them money, and you know, it makes YouTubers stand out, and you know, I want to stand out for the right reasons, what's for what I'm looking for. So aging young rebel, excellent name. How you can stand that camera angle is beyond me. Great gameplay though. My boy Luke Mason responds, it does take some time getting used to, but to watch it's fantastic. And you know, I actually love it. I've always played. If you look at any of my videos, football related videos, I use that camera angle. Anything that looks like a broadcast. My big belief in all games, sports games especially, is it should look exactly how it looks on TV, and that's my personal preference, and I absolutely love it. I play full manual as well, so I've gotten pretty good. FIFA 11 was my toughest one, using full manual, using that broadcast, but I can't get out of it. I'm a big believer that, you know, it has to be realistic. If you look at it, or watch any match, one camera, it's got one camera, one point of view, and it just goes across, you know. It doesn't sideline camera, you know, it doesn't have a wheel on it everywhere. So if you play in, you know, in Newport County or something, I used to Reaper 31, you play in Newport County or something like that, you know, there's no side track camera that goes up and down the pitch with you, you know. That's why it's a broadcast camera. It's from one singular point of view, and it just rotates, and that's what's realistic. So of course that's what I'm going to play with. Okay, yeah, Amir responding to the fact that QPR is back. Games blog, ask for camera settings. I need to start putting that in the description. I apologize, but camera setting is broadcast, and then zoom is at 20, and then height is at 0. A little thing about the camera is FIFA 15 cameras and FIFA 14 cameras were much better than FIFA 16 cameras. So I don't know why they kept the height of it so high. It feels like, you know, like I'll be playing in a really small stadium, and yet it looks like it's playing at a dome or an arena, you know. So I hope, I wish somebody can create that and make that work. That'd be really nice, if somebody in the PC crowd or something like that could get it going. So let's see, I did already respond. Tail Lucas Luaka, I hope I said that right. Camera angle, copy the CL.ini file, need your camera settings. Okay, so I kind of responded basically giving him some options of what I said was broadcast camera height was 5, and I think I used 13. Maybe it was a little bit less actually. Yeah, 12 or 13, something like that. Okay, moving on. Edo Watts, I'm new to your channel, but great stuff, mate. Do you play on full manual control? I wonder how you manage to play on those camera angles. Broadcast is great to watch, but also difficult for me to play. You know, Edo Watts, let me thumbs up that one. Thanks, first off. I appreciate that. I hope you subscribed. I hope you get to continue to enjoy the matches. Yes, I play on full manual control. When I'm testing sliders, I don't play on full manual. I only have semi-passing on when I'm testing sliders, because it's different. The computer's going to make good passes. It doesn't make sense that I'm not testing to see how my passes are. So full manual. Other than that, especially when I get into my career modes like I'm doing, how do I manage to play on those camera angles? The same way. You know, it's a lot of practice. The toughest thing for me is crossing and shooting sometimes. So when I score a goal, guys, I get excited. That is a big deal, because they don't happen often. So you know, it's a lot of fun. It's super rewarding in FIFA to score manual goals. I mean, that is just the best feeling ever. PES tried it, and you guys know I'm a big supporter of PES, but they just have not perfected their manual shooting yet. But I think that's also due to the velocity of their shots and the style of the shooting. It's a little bit different. It's definitely not PES of old, but it's getting there. Let's hope FIFA's PES 17 and FIFA 17, you know, do what they need to do. So thanks again though, Edawatts. I really much appreciated with the comment. So the most recent episode was just published last night, episode 20. And 123 now guy says, nice video, man. I just, you know, thanked him. You know, I really do appreciate that. Thank you for commenting. And then Super Knox, again, not many players play with this camera angle, make the game look much better. Great video. Thank you. I think the big discussion here is definitely camera angle, and that's been a big thing I've seen in terms of comments. So I really do appreciate that, guys, and I will definitely start posting that in the description. I'll make sure to put some annotations in the future videos of the camera angle that I'm using. So I do want your guys' opinion. Maybe this is something we can you know, discuss in the Q&A here. Number one is when should I be uploading some FIFA content, and also when, you know, how many matches do you want within that video? So at the moment I'm doing one video, one match at a time. So I'm uploading, I think I have that for Wednesdays and Saturday. So I have Wednesday one match, and then Saturday I was planning on doing 2 matches, but I only got 1 match in. So 2 matches a week, is that enough? Are we asking to go back to where I had at one point? I think I had 4 matches in one episode, 3 matches in one episode. So, or, you know, let me know what your thoughts are on there. I think everybody does it a little bit different. You guys know I like to show the sliders in action, so I try to show a lot more of how plays came to unfold. I don't just show goals or anything like that, you know. So that's why my matches, you know, I play 15-minute halves, so they're 30-minute matches, so there's a lot to edit in between, but I do like to show off, you know, kind of what I'm experiencing and what looks good and all the chances, and really get you guys into the matches, you know, like a proper highlight would. So let me know what your thoughts are on there. Some comments real quick. Golf vlog is going to be returning tomorrow, Monday. I do have some content in terms of statistics and my last couple rounds, which have not been good, but I don't have any video. I haven't had a chance to get my camera out to record any rounds, so I'll just kind of be going through over my game, over my swing thoughts, and just go from there and see what you guys think about that. I'll definitely try to work on getting out on the range or on the course, maybe play some par 3 this week, and just get some more content there. Definitely let me know below in the comments what you think about that golf vlog, and if there's anything else you want to see in there. So lastly, I'm going to be bringing over my Sporting Kansas City podcast that I've been doing. Not too many episodes in. I've just slowly been doing it, and I think, you know, now's the time to merge it over to YouTube. At the moment, it's on SoundCloud, and so, you know, I plan on uploading that to YouTube for just some, you know, some good content and my thoughts, and you know, I hope if you guys do follow the MLS, maybe that'll inspire you to do so if you haven't already. But also, you know, look into my thoughts about, you know, just coaching decisions, player decisions, stuff like that. My content that I use is feedback from the Sporting Kansas City page, so people's comments, and then I basically am just going in and replying to their comments through my podcast, and it makes for some interesting conversation. And then of course I'll type it out sometimes too, or I'll just reply back with a link to my podcast. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. And then very lastly, I will have some big news, I hope. There's something I've been working on. I've been really interested in this. If it happens, I'll let you guys know what it is. If it doesn't happen, I'll still let you know what it is. But you know, just stay tuned for that news. Let's just see what happens. So as always, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care, stay tuned.